University students living regarding the level of noise coming from the each, plus £32 surcharge.
Celsius is the perfect to enjoy your night out.
Hello and welcome to Catching Up with the Stars. I'm your host, Marta Fossati. We have a jam-packed show for you today featuring Arts University Bournemouth acting student Danielle Tama, who will perform for us at the end of the show, accompanied with an exclusive interview. I wonder whether our Studio 2 host can enlighten us.
Hello everybody, welcome to Studio 2. Of course I can, Marta. Here in Studio 2 we have an interview catching up with our scriptwriting BU student Johanna Coburg, who will be speaking to us about not only her course but also her hobbies and things that she does on the side. I'm looking very much forward to the interview. Back to you for now, Marta.
Thanks, Christiana. I am now joined with Danielle Tama, who will be performing for the finale at the end of the show. But first, let's have a little look at who she is.
My name is Danielle. The reason I wanted to join the course was because it had elements of everything that I liked about acting. So we do singing, movement and voice work, so it's all inclusive. For someone looking at the course, I would say it's very intense but not too heavy, and you get a bit of everything, and you get, the same training as you would in a drama school. I've always been interested in acting. I know that's really stereotypical, but since I was a little girl, I've always loved film, TV and stuff like that. I was in 2 shows this summer at the Lyric Theatre in Hammersmith, and I also hope to do more in the future. Yes, I do. I do like musicals.
Any particular reason why you like musicals?
The music. I like it because of the music. If there was something that I would love to be in, it probably would be Dreamgirls, and I would love to play Effie, the main character.
Danielle, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Marta.
So, where did it all begin for you as a performer?
Well, it all began when I was around probably 3 years old, and I just walked around the house dancing and singing, and when I was old enough, they put me in an acting school.
Is there any part of performance that you dislike?
Well, there's always the negatives of every career, but the bit I hate the most would probably have to be the hecklers, because, they have no real purpose.
What would you describe your sound as a singer?
Well, I would say that my sound as a singer is very earthy, and, it has some very rich undertones to it.
Do you write your own songs? Any scripts or songs we should be looking out for?
Of course I write my own songs, and I have written a script or 2 in the past.
So I understand you were in 2 plays this summer at the Lyric Theatre in Hammersmith. How were you involved in it?
So I went for an audition and I received a callback, and I spent the next 9 months with the Lyric Ensemble, and then we performed a show for 2 weeks, and that show was called The Mob Performers, and it was very, very successful. We got quite good reviews as well. And the second show I did, this was part of the Young Lyric, with Nikolai Labarria as the director. And this was called, if I remember correctly, this was called Liar, Heretic, Thief, in partnership with the Science Museum for their new exhibition.
What was the rehearsal time like?
So the rehearsal time for the Mob Performers was extensive, and we solidified it within like a span of 2 weeks, so it was quite intensive, yeah. And with the Liar, Heretic, Thief performance, we actually only had 2 weeks to devise and create the entire show.
Is there any vocal warm-up that you use specifically?
I use a combination of everything I've learnt going through my life, so I pick up things. I'm like a little magpie, just go along collecting things I like.
What's been your all-time favorite production that you have been a part of?
I would have to say, with the Lyric Ensemble, yes, last summer.
And on another note, who are your biggest inspirations?
Well, I do have quite a lot. I've got Regina King, Oprah Winfrey, Nia Long, Tyler Perry. There's so many. I couldn't name them all.
Have you seen anything live recently?
Unfortunately, I haven't, but I would love to as soon as I can.
What would be your advice for anyone thinking of going into this industry?
Well, I would say make sure you do your research and, make sure you come prepared. And be prepared to fail every now and then, but don't let that failure stop you. Just keep going.
And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, where I see myself in 10 years is very successful. You know, a few films under my belt, red carpet events, you know, house.
Understandable. Well,
course.
I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Stay tuned as Danielle will be performing for us live in the studio. But now, on a different note, it is time for the latest news and weather with James and Adam.
Hello and good evening. This is James Reynolds with the latest local news. Over the weekend, the Echo have reported that a cold weather alert has been issued by the Met Office for Dorset. Emergency overnight accommodation for rough sleepers in Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole has been available ahead of the predicted freezing overnight temperatures. The severe weather protocol has activated since Saturday the 18th of January to ensure that those sleeping rough can get away from the freezing temperatures. Serious cladding and safety issues were discovered in student accommodation Lansdowne Point by inspectors last week. Residents were concerned as it is a Category 1 hazard, similar to that of Grenfell Tower. We spoke to one of the concerned residents, Shannon Leah James.
So I've been living here in Lansdowne since January last year. There weren't any problems throughout the year except in November. There was a flood at 3 a.m. in the morning and they kept us out of the residence for around 6 hours. Ever since then, everything's been fine, but about 2 weeks ago, they had another fire alarm and we were outside the residence for 2 hours. And then we just found out it was a test. However, about last week, they had a private meeting with each room and they told us that there was a cladding issue with the building. The thing is, Lansdowne has always had a cladding issue, but it's taken them a few years to diagnose the issue. And then they've given us our options. We can either stay or we can move out if we feel unsafe. If we do decide to move out, they will refund our money. And if we decide to stay somewhere more expensive, they will pay the cost. Or if we decide to stay somewhere less expensive, they will just give us our money back. I'm moving to Belton next Wednesday, because I do not feel safe here. However, they haven't gotten back to me on the financial aspect of this, and so I'm not sure if and when I'll get my money back.
In other news, 5 university students living on Edge Hill Road were fined after residents of the road filed an official complaint regarding the level of noise coming from the property. Local residents report that they asked the students to stop playing music and shouting, but this wasn't adhered to. This led to each student being ordered to pay £100 each plus £32 surcharge. That's all I have time for tonight. We're now going to head over to the weather forecast with Adam Clintworth.
Thank you, James. In Bournemouth, as we move into the evening, there looks to be no signs of a washout as there's 0% chance of rain. And with an average of 8 degrees Celsius, it's the perfect winter temperature to enjoy your night out. The days are starting to get longer as we're in the middle of the winter solstice, and so the sun rises tomorrow at 7:55 a.m. as we receive a total of 8 hours and 50 minutes of sunshine, with highs of 8 degrees and lows of 5 degrees, which for this time of year is normal. Not all of us in the United Kingdom are as lucky, however. If we look at the national picture, in Scotland, for example, for most of the day there's a 56% chance of rain, with highs of 9 degrees Celsius, but due to the southwesterly wind blowing from the Atlantic, the real field temperature is much lower at just 5 degrees Celsius. Looking into the week ahead in the Bournemouth area, there's uncertainty as a new front pushes its way towards the United Kingdom. So keep updated with the weather at www.catchingupwiththestars.co.uk/weather for the latest updates.
Not in Scotland right now. Thank you very much for those news updates. I think it's now time for our next interview in Studio 2. Hey Christiana, it's me again. Who have you got to interview?
Hello once again and welcome back to Studio 2. Marta, we are in for a treat as we finally reach the part where we can get to know Johanna Coburg, our scriptwriting BU student. But first, let's take a look at what she does.
Hi, my name is Johanna. I'm 19 years old, I'm from Germany and I study scriptwriting at Bournemouth University. I came to Bournemouth because I thought the program is in the office just way better than what we have in Germany. After university, I hope that I'll be able to write my own films and be able to produce them as well. Yeah, we have a family friend who's also doing script writing back in Germany. He's doing quite well as well, and he's been also helping me a lot during my time here and to get to know the script writing and the career a bit. I do Nerve Radio on the side here. I produce a little morning show with Monty McPhee Friday mornings from 9 to 11. I've been doing it since I came here, so I guess it started around September, and we've done a little break over winter now, but we're coming back in February.
Hello, Johanna. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm excited to be here.
So, I know that you are from Germany.
Yes, I am.
Why did you choose to come in UK?
I decided to move to the UK because I think the film industry is a bit more established with like BBC and all that. So I thought like chances might be better here, and I also really enjoy speaking English and wanted to study in English, and I just like love the country and the culture, and I'm really glad I decided to come here.
So I think it's kind of hard to be so far away from home. Are you visiting your family often?
Not that often. I went back to Germany for Christmas, of course, and I'm going back for Easter. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to stay here in the UK because going back and forth, it just like gets expensive. And
Yeah. So, are you a part of any sports society?
I don't. I do enjoy like working out on the side, but what I wanted to try it for like volleyball, but I had a knee surgery like a half a year ago, so I'm still recovering from that. But I hope that I'll be able to do it next year.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I think you know a little bit about UK. Do you have any favorite places?
Yeah, my family and I visited quite often. My favorite part of England is actually Cornwall, which is not too far from here. It's like really nice and really enjoy being there.
That's really cool. So tell me, how did you choose to study script writing?
It's like sort of been like a development. I started writing when I was 8 and sort of like grew up with like getting to know the film and like been really fascinated with it. And when it came down to what I'm going to do, I thought maybe combine two of my passions. And also what I really think is fascinating, how film allows you to just like get away from your day, and I hope to do that for other people.
So do you see yourself working in the field?
Most definitely, yeah.
Now I just have a video here to show you. If we just take a look at it and you can explain a little bit more about it.
Sure, let's do it.
What was the title of Ed Sheeran's 2017 album? A plus, B times, C divide. Divide is correct. In what year did the Beatles release the White Album?
In the 1960s?
It was in the 1960s.
1966?
So close again, it was 1968. Well done, Johanna.
I understand that you took part in Nerve Radio. How is it?
Yeah, I'm a producer of a morning show with a breakfast show with Monty McPhee. It's the first time ever doing something like this. Never done radio before. I've never been a producer of anything, so it's like really exciting to do that, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy myself.
So tell me a little bit more about your role in the show.
Yeah, so basically as a producer, I sit down with my hosts and we sort of like plan the show. And what we do is basically we try to find things that we think will be entertaining for other people. We also see that we have a game on the show, so people actually ask people to come and play some games with us. We have a sport bit, and also we're talking about what's going to happen on the weekend. So there's a lot what we cover in that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, how did you contribute to the show?
Like I said, I'm a producer. I plan most of it, I organize it, and also I speak a bit on air, so this is also part of a bit like all around.
So tell me now a little about your university. Why did you choose Beaumont University?
I choose Bournemouth University because, as I said earlier, the film industry is just like better established here, and I heard that Bournemouth University has a really good reputation in film. So, and I like the location. I've never lived near the beach. Finally doing it. So this is like one of the main reasons in the program, main reason to move here to the Bournemouth University.
Yeah. So what's your favorite? Amazon Prime or Netflix?
Most of the time I start watching Netflix and then go over to.
Thank you very much, Johanna, for that, and I wish you all the success in the world. Now we have a live performance by Danielle Tama and guitarist John Mugglestone covering Lewis Capaldi hit song Someone You Love. Over in Studio 1.
I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to turn to. This all or nothing way of loving got me sleeping without you. I need somebody to know, somebody to heal, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you helped me escape. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. And I tend to close my eyes when it hurts sometimes. I fall into your arms. I'll be safe in your sound till I come back around. For now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved.
Wow, that was an amazing performance. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I really love the song. It's one of my personal favorites.
Well, that is all we have time for this week, everyone. It's time to say goodbye.
But not to worry, Christiana. We'll be back same time next week, where we will be interviewing first-year television production students.
Oh, that will be pretty good entertainment. I've heard they're quite rowdy bunch.
Indeed they are. So make sure you tune in next week. But from us, have a good evening.
I'm going under, and this time I fear there's no one to save me. This all or nothing way of loving got me sleeping without you. I need somebody to heal, somebody to hold, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you helped me escape.